Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon. It's a thriller, it came out in 1942, it's a PG, an hour and 8 minutes. Amazon is 4.4 out of 5, IMDb is 6.5 out of 10. I'll read the Amazon synopsis. Starting in Switzerland, Sherlock Holmes rescues the inventor of a bomb site which the Allies want to keep from the Nazis. Back in London, it seems that the inventor is not all that it seems. Interestingly enough, when you actually read the IMDb one, it just says German, not Nazis. So, there you go. Also, if I sound a bit weird, it's because I've just had tooth surgery. So, I feel on top of the world. So the director is Roy William Neill, who directed The Scarlet Claw. Producer was Howard Benedict, who did Sherlock Holmes and the Voice of Terror. I reviewed that one. And music was by Frank Skinner, who did Tammy and The Bachelor. The cast, well, I'll pick the main ones as usual. We have Basil Rathbone, who was in Sherlock Holmes. Who was in Hillbillies in a Haunted House. Nigel Bruce, who was Dr. Watson, was in World for Ransom. William Post Jr., who was Dr. Franz Tobel, who was in Mr. and Mrs. North. Karen Verne, who was Charlotte Eberly, who was All Through the Night. Dennis Hoey, Hoey, who was Lestrade, who was in Plymouth Adventure. And Lionel Atwill, who was Moriarty, who was in To Be or Not to Be. It was filmed in Universal Studios in California. It's known as The Secret Weapon and Sherlock Holmes Fights Back. That's the working title. And the set used for Professor Moriarty's hideout was used as a pub bar in Sherlock Holmes and the Voice of Terror. So there you go. Now I watched the DVD because I've got the box set. So I don't know if there's anything different, but I'm pretty much guaranteed there's not. Obviously mine's black and white, not the colour version that you can sometimes see on the trailers and stuff. Credits the same as usual. I know they changed later on as in how they begin their bit. Now it's based on the books, or based on the book, The Dancing Men. It does actually make sense when you watch the film. You'll see what I mean. I think it's on the trailer, little cartoon things. Now I just started in Switzerland at a cafe bar place. I like the way the newspapers are on a pole, so you could pick them up and walk to the table and not crunch them or tear them up, which I thought was quite interesting. The days before James Bond. How to hide items using books, whilst Holmes were in disguise. They're better than Clouseau. If you've ever seen the Pink Panther films, you'll know what I mean. Now, I love watching black and white films, because you know when they have the footage of warships heading out to sea, it kind of works, because the original films are black and white, so it's the same era. You know, back when we had a navy, I think we've got like an aircraft carrier we have on loan from somewhere, and we've got like one ship in dock and one ship out, I don't know, picking up algae or something like that. We have no navy, we had no army, we have no air force, we have a coast guard. So good luck anybody who attacks us, we're going to really fight back. Anyway, like I say, the nearest we have to a navy is actually a ferry to France. And even that's quite dodgy. Anyway, awesome quote from Edgar Allan Poe. The best place to hide something is where everyone can see it. Very true. Put something on full display. People won't even look for it. They'll be looking in cupboards and all sorts of stuff. Now, I did actually, on a side note, read his complete works. I've got his book upstairs. There's obviously the main ones in there that everyone knows, like the Pit in the Pendulum and stuff like this. But then there's other things like this. There's one about this hot air balloon that goes on into space and stuff. It's a very thick book, small writing, and then there's little footnotes which are even smaller that go on for like nearly 2 pages. I think, geez. Well worth it if I'm going to suggest a book. Anyway, Tobel's at Holmes' home. He's just taken 2 sedatives. Nope. Well, I've just taken 2 tablets now, so I can tell you they're working. But his didn't. So Watson was sitting on guard duty, gun in hand, as Tobin sneaks out to the sound of snoring. Now Holmes is doing his usual, explaining the girl that Tobin saw, blonde, affectionate, height, and the fact that he embraced. And so Watson's like, well, how do you know that? He says, well, it's obvious, isn't it? It's elementary, you know. The bit of blonde hair on his shoulder. Obviously, she reached up, and I thought, what happens if she was taller than he was? Anyway, he's in the plane testing the bombs. This is Tabel. Now, it's kind of weird because above you're looking down to trees, and then the bombs hitting it's the desert plains, like the testing grounds in America, because that's where it was filmed. And then Lestrade appears. Now, he's the first time he actually appeared in any of the films, so this is the first time it's appeared. He's not as bumbling as he is later on. Oh, this song. So they went to a pub or a bar or whatever you want to call it. Singing by someone, right? And you just wish they would just shut up. It's like it's on a loop, and it's aye, up she rises, aye, up she rises early in the morning. And it's constant. But it's in London accent, so I'm not going to even attempt that one. And then we see this a lot with the older films. You don't see it much these days. But when you have a series like this, like Sherlock Holmes, you get to see actors that have been in a couple of the other films already. There's a guy in here. I can't remember who he is. He's the one of the sailors. But in the later ones, he's one of the aristocrats. And then later on, he's one of these. And it's quite interesting because it's the same character. Good on Moriarty. Right. It reminds you of James Bond. Did you think I was going to shoot you, Mr. Holmes? No, not at all. You see this crate? Yeah. And it's just like, it wasn't going to kill him. Don't kill him. Don't shoot him. Like any mastermind, you can't use bullets. You got to use some sort of weird thing. Think of Bond, with that bloody laser beams and stuff. Now, I was watching Holmes look at this notepad where the top sheet was used to write something by Tabel. Now, in modern films, you use a pencil and slightly rub on the paper to reveal what it was. No. What you do is you immerse it in some fluorescent liquid, you dry it, you photography it, as in take a photo of it, you turn the lights off, you place in the projector, saw it. It's just like, what? Now, the end is good as usual, with Watson saying that this little island is still on the map. I thought, yeah, it's kind of true. Now, it's not my favourite of the films, but it's good nevertheless, so I'm going to give it a 6. Anyway, hopefully if you enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon, please give me the old thumbs up if you liked the video, leave a comment below. Like I say, I apologise for my mouth. I'm trying to speak, but I've got something going on. I'm not going to go into too much depth, unlike the dentist yesterday. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.